you said a couple weeks ago, don't blow loads of leads. Since then, that's all I'm seeing. I'm seeing loads of leads get blown all over the place. Left, right, center, first period, second period, third period, all everywhere.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what, dude? I mean, I hate to say this, but like, what did I say? Like, we gave a little tip of the week there, a little tits action on the weekend. What did I say? Do you remember what I said there?
You said, keep it hard, never let it go soft.
And then all of a sudden, Sheldon Keefe last night, what's he talking about?
We're soft. He said soft half a dozen times at that press conference, and
man.
I didn't hear hard once.
No, never. Not one hard confirmation, just purely soft. Soft.
Well,
So
I
hate to say, I mean, what I don't know what to tell you. Like,
scientifically, if you blow it goes soft. Right?
Dude, that's 100% right.
You keep blowing leads, you're soft.
Like the tip I gave last weekend, like I told them, like, look, boys, like this is the thing. You got to keep it hard. You don't want to go soft. Well, what the fuck? They clearly are not listening at all.
Oh, they're not listening to a word you're saying. Don't blow loads of leads. They go and blow loads of leads.
Not listening.
Don't go soft. They go soft.
Not pretty, man. So this is like, okay, we can get into the breakdown here and all that, but like, what the fuck, man? Like, seriously, what is going on here? They started so hot coming out of the Christmas break, COVID break, whatever, with the win over. They smoked Ottawa. They beat Edmonton. And then they go on the road and it's like, okay, the Colorado game, great start. Goes to shit. The Vegas game, pretty good start. Kind of goes to shit. They were lucky to hang on and get the win there. The Arizona game, I mean, whatever. The St. Louis game, great start. Goes to shit. We're lucky enough to come back and get the win there. Fluke, total fucking fluke. Like, they could have easily here. They blew a lead in the Colorado game. They blew a lead in the
Vegas.
Vegas. And then they blew a lead in the St. Louis game. Now they won 2 out of those 3 games. Barely. Could have gone the other way.
And they got a point in the Colorado game.
You're right. So we could be looking like they could have very easily lost that Vegas game and lost that St. Louis game. And right now we'd be talking about 5 straight losses.
Yeah.
Colorado,
you could look at it the other way too.
Well, what?
I'd say if they win the Arizona game, it's 4 or 5, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Or they get points in 4 or 5 games, and you'd say that's a good road trip. But if you watch the games, it's the same theme. They were in control in the Colorado game. They had their foot on the gas. They were in control. They blew it.
Great starts, right? Like
great starts. And last night, they had the Rangers. You're up 3-1. You just find a way to win that game.
Well,
but to give up 5 straight goals in the next 2 periods without scoring 1, 5 unanswered goals in the next 2 periods.
Unbelievable. And I think that was the Rangers' first home game after a road trip. And we know usually how those puppies go. And it was trending that way. And then no, like 2-0 lead and then 3-1. And I'm thinking, okay, this is not good. Like, this has got disaster written all over it. And sure enough, like, obviously the Rangers goalie was good. Shetzerkins or whatever his fucking name is. He's dynamite, right? But I don't know. What do you want to pin this on? Just fucking brutal play in their own end? Team, like, there's a lot of places. Like, well, I'll get into the recap here in a second, but like, there's a lot of places we could pin this on. Like,
I think Sheldon Keefe said it nicely after the game.
Huh.
They were soft, and what did he say? They were just looking. They looked like they were just hoping things would work out. That they weren't trying to make anything happen. I think he said they were playing without a purpose.
Yeah, that is not a recipe for success.
No, and I don't know. Maybe it's the fact they've only played a half a dozen games in the past 7 weeks, and I think a little bit is the fact that Jack Campbell's come back down to earth. I mean, he's letting in 3+ goals every night. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not good.
And Hall and Muzzin didn't play last night too.
No, they didn't. But I got a little bit on that later about Hall and Muzzin. But no, you're right. So Campbell, though, like, He lets in 5 games in the Colorado, or he lets in 5 goals in the Colorado game. He lets in 3 goals in the Vegas game. Didn't play the Arizona game. Mrazek gives up 2. The St. Louis game, he gives up 5. The Rangers game, he gives up 5. So what the fuck, man? He's given up 5 in his last 1, 2, 3. In his last 4 starts, he's given up 5 goals in 3 of the games. And the game he didn't give up 5, he still let in fucking 3. You're not going to win games with doing that shit. But like,
no, and look at the flip side. The Leafs scored 4 against Colorado, 4 against Vegas, 6 against St. Louis, and 3 against the Rangers. So, I mean,
usually that's plenty to fucking win.
Yeah, that's a lot of goals. The one game they could have used a couple goals, Mrazek was in net.
That's right.
So
groin, baby.
Groin. I don't know. Maybe, he's never played this many games. He's never played this much hockey. He's always been a backup. He's never been a starter. Even with the pause and the fact that they haven't played a lot of games, he's still reaching a total amount of games he's not comfortable with. Maybe he's just coming back down to earth. I think he's somewhere in the middle. He was so hot in November, all those shutouts.
Oh, it's been unbelievable.
And he's not this bad where he's letting in 5 goals a night.
No, he's not.
He's somewhere in the middle, probably closer to what he was in November. He's just got to find it again. And the team in front of him's got to play better.
Well, that's just like, there's a lot of blame to go around here. Like, Marner, hasn't scored a power play goal since before COVID. Like, literally, I think it was February 2020 was Mitch Marner's last power play goal. Like 100 games, over 100 games, I believe, without a fucking power play goal. He finally gets the puck down lows, like on the goal line. Awesome fucking goal. He ripped that fucking puppy top shelf. Great goal. And then it was all downhill. But a great power play goal for Mitch Marner to make it 2-0 for the Leafs. Good to see Mitchie get going. If he can keep that. So a goal and an assist. He gets an assist later in the game. 2 straight games for Mitch since coming back, a goal and an assist in each game. But then, Ryan Reeves scores, Bunting scores. So it's 3-1 Leafs after the first period.
Which they outplayed the Rangers bad.
I should have texted you. Because I knew what was happening here. I was going to text and be like, it's 3-1. And I was just going to text that, and that's all. Like, we know where this is going. And sure enough, man. So we go to the second period, and impressive first period by the Toronto Maple Leafs. I thought they looked fucking good. Road game, coming to the end of a road trip, looked fucking good. Because Rangers are a good team. Let's not, it's not like they're playing Arizona here, who they also lost to last week, 2-1. But this isn't like Arizona or Montreal. The Rangers are a good team, right?
Yeah, the Rangers are a great team.
So
they're right up there.
They're right up there.
They're right up there in their division, and they're going to make the playoffs, and the Leafs could face them in the playoffs at some point. I don't know.
The Rangers play a brand of hockey that I can get behind. They've got solid goaltending. They play solid defense. They've got guys that can, if you want to play a more physical style, they'll play that way. If you want to play kind of run and gun and more offense, they'll play that way.
They're first in the Metropolitan Division, but they've played They are with 56 points, but they've played 4 more games in Carolina.
I didn't know they were first in the Metro.
Yeah, they're first in the Metro. But they're 2 points ahead of Carolina, but they've played 4 more games.
We go to the third period. So this game peaked for the Leafs at that Mitch Marner power play goal at about the 3-minute and 30-second mark of the first period. And then it was all downhill from there. So the first 5 minutes of this game, solid start for the Leafs.
We all know what happens.
Yeah, so end of the second,
the wheels fall off.
The wheels fall off. And then, so it's going into the third period, all Rangers. They go up.
Completely all Rangers.
All New York Rangers. You knew what was going to happen here.
Leafs had some chances. I thought they played better in the third than they did in the second. Willie had a breakaway from basically the blue line, his own blue line all the way in. Couldn't bury it.
Matthews had a couple solid chances, including one that was called back.
Yeah, he kicked it in. Either way, they didn't deserve to win that game.
No, they didn't. So they end up losing. They blow a 3-1 lead, and they end up losing 6-3 to the New York Rangers. And the Leafs can't stop blowing leads. They are blowing leads everywhere, man. They are blowing leads all over the United States, from the West Coast to the East Coast. They're blowing lows everywhere.
You can't stop them. Can't stop them now.
Jesus,
it's getting out of control now.
They go to Denver. They blow a load out there. They blow a lead. They blow a load of a lead out there. Huge one. And it's just the loads are getting bigger and bigger here. This is adding up to This is crazy, man. Like the loads are getting bigger and bigger everywhere. They can't stop.
But it has to stop.
How do they stop this, man?
I don't know how they stop it.
Jesus.
I don't know how.
So,
but in all seriousness, though, do you think this was the game? This was the thing they needed?
no,
Because you blow a lead.
I don't.
But you blow a lead and you beat St. Louis, so you still win the game, right? And even though everyone's telling you, oh, you got to be careful about blowing those loads of leads, you're like, well, we still won. But last night you got embarrassed. And now you got to go back to the drawing board and be like, all right, how do we get back to the team we were in November, December? What do we got to do?
Hey there, thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to listen to the audio version of our podcast, we are available on Apple, Spotify, and all other podcast platforms. You can check in the description below for links to our social media, as well to our Patreon page if you want to support the podcast. We will be bringing you the best Maple Leafs content all season long right here only on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.